All right, I started working today before I described what I was going to be doing. So what I've been doing for the last, I guess, hour maybe, is sanding the inside of this short strand fiberglass that I put down. And same thing on the rocker here. And I used a combination of my straight line sander and my DA sander. Straight line for this portion mainly, and then the DA, and then hand sanding for the other. So I'm not done sanding in there yet. I almost forgot the main thing that I needed to do today, and that is to make a A-pillar piece. So I'm going to do that out of this here. Basically needs to be roughly 4.5 inches tall, but that includes a little bit of a foot at the bottom and 4.5-ish inches wide. So here we go. Okay, here's what I got. So this piece had to be cut here and a little bit of a notch over here on this end, so that when I tap it into place, it's going to sit in there tightly, and then it'll be welded along here as well as down at the bottom. And I'll show you how that's going to go in. Get my hand out of the way. So it's going to go in right like that, a little bit to this side there. And so what I'll do is I'll tap here at the bottom. It'll create a nice snug fit, and then I'll be able to weld it to the floor here and up in here. So I'm going to punch a couple of holes. I might actually cut a yeah, I'll just punch a couple of holes down here to tack weld or spot weld to the floor. So, and yeah, it'll work. So not pretty, but it'll work. All right, here we go. All right, I got some weld through primer on there too. Gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I'll be ready to put it in and get it welded up. And there it is. That was a very easy weld. Got 3 or 4 spot welds at the bottom, 3 along the side. Ground them down enough to just kind of ease the the pointy end off of it a little bit. And so yeah, that's good to go. Just hit it with some primer now and moving on. All right, I got a skim coat of the light body filler on here now, and gonna let that dry. Same with back here over all the weld seams. And man, it's hot out right now, so that stuff dried really fast. By the time I got to here, it was already setting up, so that's why that's a little bit rough, but that's okay. The majority of all that's gonna get sanded, or half of it anyway, is gonna get sanded back down. So all that's left is just a smooth surface, which is the goal. And so now I'm getting ready to skim coat this whole panel here from that side all the way down, and try to start smoothing things and getting it ready for the final steps before paint, before primer anyway. All right, here we go. All right, I got a decent coat on there. Gonna let it dry now, and so I'm gonna go over to this other side, which I think all I put down over there was the short strand fiberglass. So I'm gonna prep that and get a skim coat of the light body filler on those weld seams, and that'll be it for the floor for the time being, until I'm ready to put in my my bed liner stuff, which I believe Carter's going to clean this stuff off and clean the bed back here where I've got this plastic laying, to clean the bed so we can get a nice clean surface to start with. And So yeah, that's where we are right now. All right, see you in a bit. All right, I got the coat of the light body filler down over the seams now. So that about wraps things up for today. And if you're wondering why it's so wide, the purpose is to try to, gradually finesse. If you just put filler right on top of the weld, then you'd have a bump there. So this is a means of, getting more than what you need on top of it, not only in thickness but in width, so that you have room to finesse it down and to the point where you don't really even see a seam anymore, and everything is sealed up tight. So both sides are done now officially, and the only thing left to do is, obviously to sand that back when it comes time to doing that. And like I mentioned before, putting seam sealer all along the edge, all the way up, on this side as well, up in there, and down there, basically covering the entire perimeter of the floor area with the automotive seam sealer. And that'll be done from the inside. And then once I get everything done and the Jeep is painted and so forth, then I'll take it to the auto hobby shop on base, get it up on a lift, and take my seam sealer and probably undercoating, and if they'll let me, I'll do it there instead of having to get on the ground on my creeper, which isn't really any fun. So at the very least, I know I can do the seam sealer anywhere it is needed. So all right, that's a wrap on that. That was a lot of work, but just had to think it through, and draw upon things that I learned from Claude in the past, and so thankful for him and the things, not only the time that we had together, but the things that he taught me. So anyway, so now it's these. Got to do the inner wheel housings. I'll start with this one on this side. And as you may recall from previous videos, this schlock situation that they had done, riveting riveting that in and putting that diamond plate over it, that's all got to come out. So I've got this panel right here, so obviously it'll come to here, but I'll have to cut a piece that will go basically from, I might even include these holes here, I'm not sure where the diamond plate was, but if not, at the very least it'll come across here and then go straight down, so I can include this portion as well. And of course I'll have to radius to follow the body line there, and that'll take care of the riveted in section. It'll take care of this rust hole here, and again, if I take it up high enough, I could possibly just bring it out to right here and down. I just have to see how much sheet metal I've got left, but this will be new here. The wheel housing will be new, and the importance of that one is mainly, I could cut and patch weld in, in areas, especially on this passenger side, because there's, you got that down there, but when I was tapping on it, I was punching holes through down at the bottom. So I just thought, as important as this is where the roll bar goes. That needs to be really strong, and it just happens that that's all ate up with rust, and much better just to cut the whole thing out, grind the side panel there, and wherever there's this flanged edge, there's a flanged edge underneath here actually, but you can see the flanged edge here. So I'm just going to cut right into the corner of that at the 90 there, Same here, cut it back, and then once I have it cut and pulled away, then I can grind that stuff back and get everything nice and flat and good metal to and I'm probably, most likely, I'm just going to spot weld the thing in, since the panel has its flanges on it. I'm going to use my tool to punch holes and just spot weld, because that's really all that's needed. And because down here along that edge, it's going to be seam sealed as well. So that should go fairly smoothly, hopefully, you know, knock on wood. Murphy's Law always comes into play, but yeah, so outside of that, you know, those two inner wheel houses and that back piece back here, it's just a matter of, you know, going over the body, and I might cut that out and patch weld in a piece, or I might fiberglass that, I'm not sure. But this is going to need some work. This is rough here, but it's just a matter of putting in filler and flattening that down. I'll start with the short strand, of course, but anyway, making some serious progress. Starting to get excited, because it's going to come down to, before too long, all the panel replacement and stuff will be done, and then it'll just be a matter of finessing things and getting it nice and flat. A lot of sanding, a lot of priming, and all of that. So all right, that's a wrap. I'll catch you guys next time.